So, Brendan, thank you for taking the time to discuss this topic with us today. I'd just like to ask, growing up, what did you envision your dream job to be?
Well, let's see. Well, in my youth, I always knew that I wanted to be in a position of power, a leader, whether that was in a sales position for a large company or managing my own business, which is what I do now. I always knew that I wanted to do some sort of business interaction between myself and the consumers. Uh, Proceed.
Okay, and do you believe that any internal or external factors influence this decision as a child or throughout your adolescent stages?
Absolutely. We grew up in an apartment above my mother's boutique where she sold clothing to consumers. Also, my uncle was a lawyer, which was a very prestigious job at the time. So I always admired that, and that was always a great interest for me to have something to do with law or a high professional paying job such as that.
Okay, I see. So, how important is financial security to you? You speak of these quite lucrative positions and figures in your life growing up that had and held these positions. So, in comparison with working for what truly is your passion in life, how important is financial security?
Extremely important. I would like to be comfortable when I retire and not have to worry about any sort of expenditures, travel frequently, and those kind of things. So, definitely, I would like to make sure I'm more than reasonably set as far as income goes for the rest of my career.
Okay, understandable. And do you mind telling me, Brendan, what your current title is or titles? I know you've told me recently that you do have multiple positions at this point in your life. So do you mind elaborating and stating what those are?
Sure. In the evenings, I work for United Parcel Service as an operations supervisor, where I supervise approximately 10 to 12 direct reports each night as they unload feeders brought in from states all across this country. I've been doing that for approximately 6.5 years now. I like it a lot. There's good benefits, and I've learned a lot from it, which I've also applied to my own business, which is a gardening company. Um, During the spring, summer, and fall, I manage a gardening service for approximately 30 to 40 clients. It's steady pace work for the entire spring, summer, and fall. And like I said before, both jobs have complemented each other in the sense that I've learned from different aspects of uppercase and lowercase management.
Okay. And so, how did you come about obtaining the UPS position to start?
Really, I just stumbled upon it. I heard from reviews online that it was a good company to work for, and I figured that a company that's been around for over 100 years isn't going anywhere, so it's safe and secure, and something that I could stick with for quite some time. Plus, it was close to home.
Okay, so that makes for a convenient position. And what about your business that you were speaking of in landscaping? How did you stumble upon that opportunity?
I began working for another woman in 2010, just doing a few side jobs, moving mulch for her in wheelbarrows and trimming shrubs. And I saw how profitable the business was, how vast the market was in the area, and I just was determined from there on to make a business of my own. And eventually, I left her company and started my own approximately a year ago.
Well, that's great to hear. And so your education or your training, is that based around your current position, your dream position, or a bit of both, would you say?
A bit of both. I learned a great deal in school, and I apply not only what I've learned in school, but what I've learned in life itself to everything that I do towards my career. So I would definitely say my degree in marketing slash business has helped me promote my own business and do well with the company that I work for as well.
Okay, so that was a Bachelor of Science that you received?
Correct, marketing.
Okay. And now, how would you say that that education itself is tied into your position? Either the one in landscaping, the one at UPS, or maybe both of it?
Definitely both. Marketing, is actually the thought of selling something to a consumer. As a supervisor at UPS, I have to sell myself to my employees. I have to gain their trust. And I have to know that I can trust them when I tell them to go do a job and that it'll get done in a timely fashion. Same thing in regards to my gardening services. I have to let a client know that the work that I'm going to do is going to be done with passion, pride, and that I can be trusted to maintain their properties in an efficient time, and that they can always count on me to get the job done.
Yeah, I agree with you. Definitely, trust is a crucial attribute in the business field altogether. So, now you did state here that growing up, you grew up in an environment where your family owned a business and so did your uncle. So, would you say that they were supportive of your choice as far as your career path and education?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I believe that they agreed that it's, just anything to do with business is something that's going to be around. It's not going to be replaced like other certain jobs where technology takes over. I wouldn't want to be in the workforce now where your job could be replaced by a manual computer or anything like that.
Okay. So, what are your plans for the future career wise? Do you have a 5 year, a 10 year, a 15-year goal? And do you mind explaining what those are?
Yeah, my 5 year goal would be to establish my gardening service so that I would only have to work spring, summer, and fall, to leave UPS within 5 years, and to make approximately $100,000 profit each year.
Okay, so truly what you would like to do in life is to just follow your entrepreneurial path in the landscaping business. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. That's great. And if you could go back and make any changes in your career path thus far, would you?
I would not. I would not change anything. Any mistakes I've made, I've learned from.
Okay. So there's no changes as far as education wise or your work experience, or you feel that they were all a learning opportunity where, even if you did fail to some extent, it was just a learning experience to improve?
That's correct.
Okay. All right. So, Brendan, is there anything that you would like to add today in regards to this topic, your dream position, and following what you truly have interest for in life in your career path before we do close?
Yes, I would. Many people believe that management is just making sure that others get the job done. Management's not that. Management's making sure that the individuals who are doing the job make you look much better. Management is getting work done through others. I have particularly a few employees who work for me in my gardening services, who all my clients are extremely fond of, who do a wonderful job, and who actually offer services that I myself could not provide, such as seeding lawns and doing other sorts of tasks that I never got into. Mine was just simply basic gardening. So always trust in your greatest employees and always empower them to do their best. It'll make your company stand out against the competition.
Definitely, I couldn't agree more with that statement. I feel as if your employees represent you as a company, and being able to stand out in the market gives you a real competitive advantage in the industry itself. So I do want to thank you for taking the time to discuss this topic with us today, Brendan. You take care.
Thanks, you too. Bye.